John Connolly here. Final game, 12 of 12 at the Hockey for Life. Want to introduce my liney for this one.
Today's analyst wears many hats. He is a former graduate of St. Thomas Academy 1986 and played hockey at the University of St. Thomas, winning a MIAC championship along the way. He's an assistant coach on the St. Thomas Cadets boys hockey team junior varsity. He's also an insurance professional and a member of the board of the Upper Midwest High School Elite League. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please welcome Mark Mackesy.
John, good to be here.
Mark, it's great to have you here. So we're doing it again. You know, we had the national team here for a couple games earlier this year in the Upper Midwest High School Elite League, and then you joined me a little bit last night. We had a good one for Edina, a tough one for St. Thomas. They're looking to bounce back. St. Thomas enters this game 1-on-1 on the weekend. They beat Stillwater on Thursday. Looking over to the other side, I think we've got a team here from Prior Lake at home, but I can't. It looks like they haven't joined us yet. Oh, no. They're wearing the highlighter yellow. I almost didn't recognize them. Kind of hard to find those jerseys, almost invisible out there.
Those are interesting. A little bit like Quinnipiac University.
So this is Matt Christ. Had a chance to talk to the coaching staff of Prior Lake before we got going. I'm going to hit a button here for Matt Christ. You're going to hear the anthem, and then we're going to come right back. Mark Mackesy is going to talk about the upcoming game. Just before the start of the game, I'm here with Matt Christ, assistant coach for the Prior Lake Lakers. Matt, how's the season going so far?
It's going pretty well so far. The team's starting to click here right after the Christmas break. Guys are excited to get going here. But yeah, I think the team's looking good, and we got a strong team.
This is a nice event, 3 games, 3 days against top flight competition. Sounds an awful lot like a certain tournament in St. Paul in March.
It definitely feels like a mini state tournament here. We got some good teams and high competition, so it's good for our guys and good for all the teams that join the tournament.
Anything specific to some of maybe the leaders of this team individually, or just some themes that you're talking about as the calendar rolls into 2019?
Yeah, we got great leadership on our team. It starts with Jackson Judding, our captain, came back for his senior year. We're glad to have him. Guys enjoy being around him. We have some good leadership, and guys are ready to get rolling here.
Well, Matt, I wish the Lakers well, both in this weekend's event and also in the remainder of the season. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Have a good one.
We're getting ready for this one. Mark, how'd the JV do? Next door, they've held a JV tournament, and Mark is one of the coaches for the St. Thomas Junior Varsity. How'd you do this week?
JV had a great weekend. We went 3-0.
What?
Yes. Defeated Stillwater, Edina, and Prior Lake. 3 for 3 on the weekend.
Congratulations. So it just shows the depth of the program. Lots of good players at St. Thomas. Wearing white today, blue trim, blue hats, blue pants are the Cadets, and they're looking to bounce back. They had a nice win the first day, 4-3 over Stillwater, but I know they felt that the game was closer than the 6-2 at the nightcap last night. Edina 6, St. Thomas 2. So let's see how they bounce back. On the other hand, Prior Lake, they're the host team, if you will. We're playing here at the Dakota building where they play their high school home games. Yeah, even got their logo on the ice. They've yet to win a game, the only team. They did take Lakeville to overtime, dusted yesterday by Chaska. Chaska goes 3-0, beating Edina today. Yesterday it was 8-0 over Prior Lake. Don't let the score make you think Prior Lake isn't a good team or didn't play hard. They left it all out there. It was like a black cat following everywhere they went for 3 periods. I've never seen a team more snake bit, and I watch hundreds of hockey games every year.
Yeah, these guys are a quality team, and you know, as the year goes on, they're going to be heard from, and really, I mean, today it's neither team got the result they wanted yesterday, and it's who's going to get to their game the quickest, who's going to find their footing and get rolling here.
they didn't want to come to the holiday tournament and go 0-3, so look for them to see what they can do to get a win on the board. Emerson takes that draw from Jutting. Jutting wears 19, and boy, oh boy, this is an easy game to announce. We got easy numbers to read on the backs of these jerseys. Prior Lake wearing the optic neon yellow. Big, bold 14-inch numbers back there on the back, and nice ones on the arm sleeve. St. Thomas, it couldn't be a cleaner look. Just like the Toronto Maple Leafs, no problems making out some numbers, even though we're pretty high atop in the back row here, Mark. This one gets knocked down, and it's a straight puck, winds up onto the stick of Bamer. Bamer breaks it out over in front of the benches. Christie had a nice game earlier this week for St. Thomas, and he's heavy on the forecheck. Jutting plays it back behind the end line over to Emerson. Emerson didn't play the first day, but he looked awfully good yesterday for Prior Lake. Cabo and Traxel, they looked real good in their win on Thursday. Good decor here for the Lakers, and turnover. Big shot here, and Beatty's shot kicks off a boot and goes over to the corner. Beatty gets this one and plays it out top. Little backhand forehand thing. Magnuson was showing over here on the right side, and the pass came over on the left. Not much he could do with it.
Yeah, Carter Henry sliding in there. Nice block on that.
Down into the corner. Heavy forecheck here from Prior Lake, and they're playing some spirited hockey early. They're really working hard. They've got the longest turnaround, Mark. We had a situation earlier where Edina maybe didn't have as much rest as they wanted from yesterday to today. Did you know Prior Lake had the noon game yesterday? They were done by 2 o'clock. They had more than 24 hours come back for the 7:31, so relative to the other teams, relatively well rested for the Hockey for Life field.
Yeah, I think that's a huge advantage. We probably saw that with Edina today. They had, like you said, John, they had the late one. They had to come back, and this time of the year, these guys are still getting their legs.
You know, Moorhead took a lot out of Edina the first night. Moorhead had a lead late 5-4 in Edina, and Edina's been prone to giving up a lot of goals this year. Take nothing away from Chaska. They deserve to win. They're 3-0. They're going to be the champions of the Hockey for Life. But you know what? Edina, when they get to a game like this, they maybe had wished that they would have been able to get that third and fourth line out a lot more earlier in the weekend. Kind of the Ryan Suter effect. You just can't keep going to well to the same guys. It eventually takes a toll. And Chaska looked great, took advantage of it. They were down 3-0. They win 4-3, and certainly one of the storylines today across the state of hockey.
Yeah, it makes it exciting. There's a lot of parity out there. We saw that last night with Champlain Park beating Duluth East, and now Chaska taking down Edina.
Definitely over to Bodette. Bodette's got a big crowd in the house today, so we'll talk about that. This is a nice pass over off the stick of O'Brien, and it's intercepted, and a huge save there. Cash mark denied. Big save here by Jarvis. Interesting, Mark. Kind of accustomed to seeing Muzzy Donahue starting for the Cadets. Yesterday, Edina got to him, and they put in Jarvis. Jarvis comes back and bounce back. A little chance here for Jarvis to play again.
Yeah, he's a talented guy. Skated on the JV last year and played exceptionally well. And again, I expect big things from him when he gets his opportunities.
Behind the goal for Prior Lake, this is Traxel. Traxel takes this one, and a short pass on the near side, gets it up to Speltz. Speltz in the neutral zone, loses the puck, however. Nice play here by Christie. He leaves it for Killian. Killian over to McFadden, dump and chase, and the first one to arrive on the scene is going to be Green. Nope, Green leaves it for Emerson. Emerson's pass doesn't quite connect, and now St. Thomas on the forecheck has gained the zone. Early going here, 3.5 minutes in, only one shot recorded so far, and kind of a feeling out period, Mark.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, both teams, Prior Lake doing a nice job of clogging up the middle, winning races to lose pucks. St. Thomas has got to be a little stronger on the puck here.
Shot from the point. This one is deflected, and I thought that was going in. It goes just wide. Killian took a shot, deflected off of a defender, and narrowly misses, just getting past Shot Bell. Shot Bell comes back. He is in goal again. He got pulled yesterday, no fault of his own. Those goals were just going in frequently from Chaska, and eventually they said, we're not going to subject you to a sunburned neck, and Hagelin came in, but Shot Bell comes back today. So, Mark, I had kind of a Spinal Tap drummer situation with the spot on my left. You're a rotating cast of an all-star cast, rotating crew here working as the color commentary to get me through these 12 games. First game this morning, it was Ryan Kraft, former captain of the Minnesota Golden Gophers, and I said, you know, it kind of feels like an extended feeling out process. We're about 2 minutes left in the first period of that game. He goes, that's exactly what it's been. So we'll see how long this feeling out process. Sometimes the game starts kind of a little bit different vibe to it. The team's kind of getting used to the flow of the game, and we're about 4 minutes in, 4.5 minutes in, and not a whole lot's happened.
No, I mean, it's like you said, John, a little different last night, that Edina St. Thomas game. Fast start by both teams, good scoring chances. This one's a little bit more methodical so far.
Lofted in deep to the end line, and the first one to get there is Henry. Henry, he's going to bring it out over to his left and then pass to his right. Vega ships out to the neutral zone. Here comes Hallam. Hallam wide, dumps this one in, and it's behind the goal line. First one to get there for Prior Lake is Cable. Cable's been very, very good this weekend. He's fun to watch, and he's got great hockey here. Nice pass. Snapper comes off the stick of Judding. He's got a real hard shot, and good thing for Jarvis, he was in the right spot blocking that goal.
Yeah, Judding, he's their guy, their captain, their leader. Colorado College commit. Rob Chrissy from St. Thomas Academy, also a Colorado College commit. Two guys that I know that school is really excited to get. Colorado College talks about what a great two-way hockey player Judding is, and you can see that out here tonight.
Judding steps into the faceoff. So really looks across at Hallam. Hallam, just a sophomore. You and I have talked about him a lot, maybe off the record and, you know, bringing it on record. He's got all the tools. You watch a game, and it's like, wow, this kid has really got all the tools to be a great hockey player. Just a sophomore, bright future ahead for Jackson Hallam.
Yeah, he's got a lot of jump and a guy, energy guy. Keep an eye on him in the third period.
Bamer brings this one over our direction up to Vega. Pass doesn't quite connect. Nice job jamming that neutral zone by Judding. He's a very active player. A lot of similarities between Judding and a player we just saw in the last game, Jack Jensen. 11.5 minutes to go. First period, still scoreless. Nice play by Henry to get that one under control and keep that one in. And Mark, I feel that the modern style relative to our era, I think players are taught from a younger age to hold the blue line a lot tighter than we did.
Yeah, I mean, that's emphasized, is just taking away time and space and gaps and you know, this is, players are getting so fast and bigger, faster, stronger, and defensemen have got to be agile and quick, and playing off guys now that's a thing of the past.
Behind the goal line is Winter. Winter looks to be about 10 feet tall. I'm guessing he's probably 6'7" in actuality. He is just massive out there. Winter, tall defender for Prior Lake. One of many, as Cable's probably about 6'2". This is a nice pass that's a little bit too far for Beatty. He goes down into the corner and fights off a check from Wingus. St. Thomas brings it out to the neutral zone. Nice little chip pass. Nice soft touch. O'Brien to right, and right shot goes just wide. But beautiful touch there. One of the things we saw earlier in that first game was super hard passes from some players that the others just couldn't catch. And I know they tell you that in the NHL. I never reached that level, but that's what I've heard is, you know, you fire it as hard as you can. It's that guy's job to catch it. This is high school, and it's nice to see that nice deft touch. O'Brien makes the pass over to right. And a little bit about O'Brien, fun fact. His uncle is an assistant coach of the junior varsity at St. Thomas.
Yeah, he's my nephew, and he's been playing really well for us. Had a nice game last night. Probably didn't do enough to help get us over, but really good effort from him so far this year.
Killian gains the red line, dumps this one down, and it's played by Shop Bell. Shop Bell leaves it over for Emerson, but heavy on the forecheck is McFadden. And one of the things that we're going to talk about is how it's more likely to find two-sport athletes if you go to St. Thomas. He's one of them, and kind of got a fun backstory with Brennan McFadden. Played over out off the wall, half wall, trying to get it back to Traxel on the point. Nice steal there, but Beatty's an impressive sophomore as well. We've already mentioned Jackson Hallam. Beatty's a player that Prior Lake is really counting on for the future. He's already a good player, just a 10th grader.
Yeah, his dad, Pat, if you remember, played at Bloomington Jefferson in the mid-'80s and was part of the, I wouldn't call him a dynasty, but the beginning of that dynasty in the 90s. So that's his son, Matt, and he's got a real bright future as well.
Tying it all together, had a chance to talk to Tom Soderdahl. I lived away for 25 years, but saw him and walked up and just said, you know what? I used to attend the Tom Soderdahl and Tom Osiki hockey schools in the summer at Big, Bloomington Ice Garden, and we reminisced for about 15 minutes. Good to see him out. He was the coach of those Bloomington Jefferson teams with Pat Beatty. Play continues. St. Thomas completes the line change, and highlighter yellow out to the neutral zone. They get this one up onto the stick of Jutting. It's a broken 3-on-1, and he gets a drop pass off the stick of Cashmark and fires this one into the goaltender Jervis. So Charlie Cash Money wearing number 11. He's a fun player to watch. Had a chance to meet him this summer. High character kid. That's a common theme throughout all of the state of hockey. The kids that play high school hockey are much more than just hockey players, and a lot of grade A kids. Back on retreat is Magnuson. Seems like everybody's got a defenseman named Magnuson.
Yeah, there's one at Cretin who's really good.
And I announced another game recently, and we've got one here at Prior Lake. So 3 high school teams. And why does the Magnuson, you know, the greater Magnuson family, not necessarily under one roof, but if your name's Magnuson in Minnesota, why don't they put you at forward?
Yeah, well, Danny Magnuson, he's at Cretin. His cousin William is at Chaska, both defensemen, both real talented guys.
Oh, so that's the other one. So, downed player, and we've got our first penalty of the game. 4 shots on goal thus far for the Lakers. They say none for the Cadets.
Yeah, I think, you know, again, Lakers are doing a really good job of taking away time and space, jamming up the middle, and they're blocking a lot of shots. They're doing a lot of the little things right here tonight.
Magnuson goes off, and I mention this frequently, that the beginning of the game, first few shifts set the tone. The first real title shift occurs when you get your first penalty. So kill here would be an uplift for Prior Lake. Obviously, St. Thomas would like to get one on the board and seize control of this game. We've seen a ton of shorthanded goals in Hockey for Life, so don't count out the fact that there could be a short-handed goal. Got a strange story. Oh, on the doorstep, and denied. Nice little spin move there from Cashmark, speaking about the shorthanded scoring opportunities. Look at him here.
And yet Jutting out there, and he's the one that really created that opportunity for him.
So, Mark, there was a penalty, and all these games are running together. There was a penalty yesterday, 5-minute major, and there were 2 goals scored. 2 short-handed goals by Shane Laval from Chaska against this very Prior Lake team. So Prior Lake, you know, they had some power play time yesterday with a major, and instead of scoring, they actually went -2. So back to the action here. 65 seconds to go in this man advantage, middle of the first period action, and it is Henry behind the goal. Nobody in pursuit, so it's a neutral zone clog here from the highlighter yellow, Prior Lake Lakers. That pass doesn't connect. Bamer was looking for Henry, but he's got to go regroup and pick this up. Back to Bamer, kicks it off the boot onto the stick of Hallam. Hallam gains the red line, gains the blue line, and fighting down along the wall. Now it's ice to the length, and good clear here for Prior Lake. They've killed 80 seconds of the 2-minute power play, just 35 or 40 seconds left for the Cadets.
Yeah, nice job by Prior Lake there. Again, just clogging up the middle, keeping it simple.
Ooh, look at this. He's getting a little loose with the carrying there, and you love to have a defenseman that can carry the puck as long as they don't turn it over, and it was getting a little bit out in front of Bamer. Back in retreat is Wingus. Wingus gains the neutral zone red line, can't gain the blue line, and credit Prior Lake with a real good defensive scheme throughout this power play. Just 5 seconds left to go in the St. Thomas man advantage. That's into the back of the net. Technically, it is a power play goal. That one goes in. O'Brien, your nephew, off the side of the goaltender's leg. Johnny on the spot picks up a loose puck and fires this one in. Slides it past Shot Bell, 1-0 St. Thomas.
Yeah, you know what, he's had about 2 or 3 of those from that spot this year, and he seems to have a pretty good idea of where to move to open ice down low.
All right, we'll listen to see what the assists are credited for there. Looked like he got a pass from somebody. O'Brien makes this one 1-0 St. Thomas, 1-0 early. Well, not too early. Middle of the first period. Vega and Wingus, 19 from 9 and 6. It is a power play goal, O'Brien from Vega and Wingus. And yeah, those penalties, that first penalty of the game always is such an event.
Well, and it's interesting, John. First shot on goal, and you know, it went in. I mean, it's just
banged it off the goaltender's leg. And
we've seen a little bit of everything this weekend.
that's for sure. It's been a fun week of hockey. Kind of sad to see it end, and a little tear in my eye as I think forward to the end of this one. We'll be here less than 2 hours, and it's all done until next year. Oh, what a defensive play. Sprawling out, giving up the body, but in this case it made sense, was Wright. Big play there from Wright as he tips that one away and denies that scoring chance. Prior Lake looking for the equalizer.
That's Jared Wright, number 16, sophomore, really bright future. Kid with a lot of ability and a great work ethic and just an unbelievably coachable guy.
All the girls chasing Mr. Wright. That is Jarrett Wright. He's a great player here, sophomore, bright future ahead. And, you know, you got that good JV team, got a lot of guys that are underclassmen, got a lot of seniors too, but St. Thomas, it just seems to be like they're rolling over. I've said it many times, and this is the 6th game I've announced for the cadets this year. It's a weird conundrum or dichotomy. They lost a lot. Matsui, Christie, Chase Foley, Atticus Kelly, but they returned a lot. The other Christie and, you know, some of these players that we're watching today, kind of looks like next year might be the same thing. Hallam comes back, Bodette comes back, got Bamer and Killian on defense, and, you know, it's nice. They really seem to have a nice ebb and flow to their roster, and your JV kids moving up is going to be a big part of next year's team. Yeah,
that team last year, there's a great group of seniors. All of them had great years. 4 playing junior hockey, USHL, BCHL, North American League. Those guys with bright futures as well. Good stuff. Dumped in deep, and Prior Lake goes for the line change. Speltz threw it in deep, and on retreat, this is Wingus. Wingus over to Bodette, but it slides through his stick, and now on the wall, trying to get it out of the zone. You've got McFadden. McFadden, short pass onto the stick of O'Neill, and he hits Christie. St. Thomas does a real good job finding that offside wing streaking out. I love sending that offside, weak side out and firing pucks diagonally through neutral. And St. Thomas has found Christie quite a bit this weekend with that same play. Well, that's kind of his spot, and that's part of the reason. He's played center and wing, and he's obviously very good at both. And part of the reason why he's over on wing is for that stretch pass and his speed and ability to go hard to the net. Great kid. Had a chance to meet some of the cadets, and you actually helped me line those interviews up. And our sponsor, Jack's Cafe, Mr. Kozlak, had us down, and a bunch of really nice kids there. And we'll see one of their interviews between periods 2 and 3. This one is chipped down to the end line. Henry picks it up. A little overlap play. They give it to Hallam, who gives it right back. Right now they're pinned in their end. It's kind of a weird scheme here. They're not even trying to break it out, Mark. What's going on? Well, again, Prior Lake, they're doing a nice job of just being patient and sitting back and trying to capitalize on any turnovers or mistakes. And there have been a few, and Jarvis has made some nice saves. I said it yesterday. I really like, I probably said it both days, I really like the way Prior Lake plays the off the weak side there. Vega had it on a stick but couldn't release the shot. There was a little bit of daylight there before the goaltender Shot Bell could get over to seal that off. I mentioned it both days, I think. You know, this is a team, you can just see the culture is you got to play hard. You're not going to get on the ice, so you got enough guys in the program. You got to play hard, and Prior Lake forechecks hard. They really can be suffocating at times, and we're seeing it today. They're doing a real good job, They flip the script, don't want to forecheck too hard, kind of clog that neutral zone, and St. Thomas has had trouble getting through and getting shots to net. That's just the 3rd one of the game. Yeah, you know what, and that's it, and that's what we're seeing out here, and they block shots. They're talented at slowing things down and just being patient, waiting for their opportunities. Kind of want to start calling some of these other names. I haven't seen Tushy yet today out there, and you know, maybe he's had some shifts. I just didn't notice any activity, so looking for him. He was very, very good. Saw him in some fall midget play, and very, very good earlier this week. Don't be deceived. St. Thomas comes to this game 0-2 this weekend, but I really like the way they play. Even in that one-sided loss to Chaska, it was the darndest game, but you know, you've heard me say that if you're watching Prior Lake this week. I've said that many, many times. On retreat is Cable. Cable came up from Dallas, and a little shout out. Got a friend of his, Kyle Russell, is a friend of mine. Kyle lives down in Dallas, and
When I relocated to the Twin Cities, he said, oh, they got this kid at Prior Lake. He's a great defenseman. It took me about a year to see him. And Kyle, I agree. Out to the neutral zone. Here comes Traxel. Nice play here by Shimmick to get it on his stick, and the next pass doesn't quite connect. You know, Mark, we're about 15 minutes into this game, and I've seen enough I can decisively say I'm digging that yellow.
You know what? They're growing on me, too.
It grew on you. I was just thinking the same thing. I'm like, you know, at first it was like, wow. And then, you know, now it doesn't quite look so bright after watching a period, and I'm loving that set.
Well, that's, again, it's a little bit like Quinnipiac. And interestingly enough, Quinnipiac's got a former cadet, Peter Tufto, who's the leading scorer for Minnesota-born college hockey players in the country right now.
He's been a phenomenal success story, and we've got a similar one upcoming. You were instrumental in telling me the story, setting up the interview, and if you stick around for between periods 1 and 2, have a great interview for you. So nice, I ran it twice. It was also the guest between last game's first and second period. That's Peter Krieger. Some more on that when we get to our break. 1:23 to go in the first period. 1 goal scored by O'Brien. St. Thomas leads 1-0, and here comes Killian. Killian, short pass near side McFadden out to the neutral zone, and ooh, he was exposed. I saw that hit coming about 3 strides before he got rocked, and we've got a penalty upcoming. Christie got rocked, and penalty upcoming on the Lakers.
Yeah, I mean, that's, again, this is their game plan is pretty sound here. We're going to slow them down, and Rob Christie gets the puck, and they're on him. Ryan O'Neill gets the puck, and they're on him. They're taking away time and space here.
So you took periods 2 and 3 yesterday, and on loan from Fox Sports North, Tom Chorsky took period 1. He said that his high school line mate is the father of the Christie brothers, and, you know, that's pretty good. Would have had Tom here today, except for yet another wild game, and this is a wild win over Winnipeg, and good one there, so he was unable to watch his son Brett play for Edina earlier today.
Yeah, I think he and Ray Christie are real good friends. Grew up playing over in Minneapolis on the ponds, and been great friends ever since.
5 minutes goes up on the board, and these are the types of things that just, you know, Edina game earlier, in case you didn't see it, it was 3-3 late, 6 minutes to go, and there's a major penalty called, and followed by a minor 5-on-3. Chaska gets the goal. Edina can't really do anything to stop it. They just don't have enough people on the ice. So this is a similar situation. It's going to be an overlap. There's going to be 1 minute played in this period, 5-on-4 for the Cadets. And then 4 minutes, no matter how many goals they score, that guy doesn't come out. So overlapping is 4 minutes. This is going to seem like an eon. This is going to seem like an eternity, Mark. St. Thomas would love to get one late in this period. Boarding on Emmerich, and very quickly St. Thomas makes this one 2-0. I was listening to hear the public address, find out what the call was. Just a 5-minute major, no game misconduct attached to that. But 13 seconds into this power play, they've scored. Mark, there's still 4:47 on that power play, 47 seconds less in the period, and St. Thomas is now up 2-0.
Yeah, and St. Thomas last night, they struggled on the power play. Weren't as strong as they would have liked to have been, and obviously a great start for them here today.
Yeah, that was just a big turn of events here. Prior Lake was not too far out of it, just a goal, 1 minute to go in the period, and we get the major penalty and a quick goal. So that's 21 from 12 and 11. It is McFadden from O'Neill and Christie. So yesterday, Prior Lake had a 5-minute major called against Chaska, and with that power play gave up 2 shorthanded goals. Now they have a 5-minute major called against them. They've already given up 1, and we've still got 4 minutes 35 seconds left. 4 minutes 35 seconds left in the major penalty to the Lakers. I forgot my goal horn. This is for you, Brendan McFadden. All right, back to the action here. St. Thomas with 25 seconds to go. Killian hounded in the corner. Good forecheck here by Cash Money, and gets a turnover. Cash Money off the post, and another rebound shot by Jackson Judding. And wow, that would have been a great way to close the period for the Lakers. Instead, Looks like they're going to go to the dressing room down 2-0. But Mark, what a play there by Cashmark, and following it up, beautiful shot by
Yeah,
Jennings.
I mean, you know what? Playing the body, keeping it simple, led to a great scoring chance.
You're going to want to stick around. We have a between-period guest. Thanks again to Mark Mackesy for lining this up. Peter Krieger talks about playing at St. Thomas Academy, moving his way through the junior ranks, getting to college, and a great story where he's one of the top players on the national champions last year at UMD. Big win for Peter and the Bulldogs last night. I think it was 4-3 in overtime from Arizona over Mankato State. And when you come back for the second period, we've got a great game for you, as well as some stories about the people that have graduated from these fine institutions. Going to kick it over to Justin. We'll be back in about 12 minutes. John Conley here with Mark Mackesy. Thanks, everybody, for watching.
All right, this is John Conley. I'm here with Peter Krieger.
How's it going?
Peter, very, very good. So I wanted to spend a few minutes today and talk about your hockey path. It's a very interesting story. But why don't we start out? It's airing between periods of a high school game.
Yeah.
Let's reminisce a little bit about your high school days.
Yeah, so I went to St. Thomas Academy back in 2008 to 2012. Great time there. Was fortunate enough to win 2 state championships my junior and senior year. I loved everything about St. Thomas, from the coaching staff to the school, hockey program, everything was top notch, and yeah, I had a great time there.
So coming out of high school, you'd mentioned to me that you had felt like you were a pretty good player, had some success as an individual, and obviously had very successful teams, played in the Elite League. Then you played in the Ted Brill Grade 8 tournament for some, I think, uncommitted seniors. But what were your options at that point if you wanted to continue playing hockey, and then what did you end up doing?
Yeah, I at that time I hadn't had any college offers or any big deals, I guess you could say, but I guess just try and play at the next level, and for me that was juniors, and initially I'd hoped that would be at the USHL level, which I had wanted it to be, and unfortunately that wasn't the case, as I had to get shoulder surgery right after the Ted Bill Grade 8 tournament there after my senior year, and which I ended up then going to play my first year juniors in the North American Hockey League, and in Aberdeen, that is, and so that was my first year of juniors, my first option, and it was a great experience.
So there's an expression that life isn't about what happens to you, it's more about how you respond, and that might have been first disappointment in this long hockey journey, not playing at the level that you thought, and a little slow to get the college recruitment. You had a good year at the end, and then the next year wound up having a great year with the Waterloo USHL team. So, now you're getting to be a couple years past high school, and I don't know that everybody understands how old college players are. You're not 18, right?
Yep.
So, then just walk maybe through what the process is like and what you did to stay in the right frame of mind to make the most of the opportunities that you had.
So I guess, I personally wasn't a big fan of the recruiting process. Just it kind of seemed to me a little, I don't know, kind of like, want you if other people want you kind of thing, and some teams anyways, and some teams might not be that way, but that's just kind of how the recruiting process works. But anyways, I didn't really know much about colleges or college hockey, but I know that I wanted to play, and getting a chance, I kind of just jumped on my first offer that I had, which was from Alaska Fairbanks, which I played 2 years of college up there. But I think looking back, you kind of got to take your time and analyze what team you're going to go to, kind of style of play and everything like that. But I mean, for me, the recruiting process was kind of different and interesting because you never really know what teams or coaches want, and they're not always upfront and honest with you, which, I mean, you'd probably rather have it be that way, but it's just kind of what it is.
So, now we're post-junior, you're in your 20s playing college hockey, you're in Fairbanks.
Yep.
And that's an age where a lot of people's hockey career may veer into the ditch, if you will. I like the Fairbanks sweater that you have on here. We got the Fairbanks sweatshirt. So something happened. So let's talk about that. So you wound up leaving Fairbanks and wound up in Duluth, and must have taken a lot of courage and conviction to make a college transfer. When you were in a good spot, good environment, you're playing a lot, even as a sophomore.
Yeah. I was in a really good spot. I did enjoy my time in Alaska. I enjoyed the guys on the team, and the life experience that came with living in Alaska, and it was a good experience. However, for me, I felt like being in a situation where it played more kind of my style of play would be a better fit for me, which then would be a better fit for the team. And in that process, I reached back to some old coaches and talked to a lot of junior coaches that I had played for, and my coach in Waterloo helped me out a lot, and kind of just talked me through everything. And I asked him kind of what my options were, if I had any options, and what he thought I should do, and that's pretty much what led me to the transfer process and asking for my official release from Alaska.
Minnesota's hockey culture is one of, if not the best in America, so it's only fitting that one of the best hockey camps in the world is right here in Nisswa.
This is Dan Germanson. Welcome to Minnesota Hockey Camps. We are gearing up for our 39th summer based in Nisswa, Minnesota in the beautiful Brainerd Lakes area. At MHC, there is a culture that breeds success. We offer resident and day camps for boys and girls of all ages from mites to NHL, 9 weeks throughout the summer.
We've had probably 700 NHLers come through here.
We have 32 hockey-related activities per week. Over the years, we have had close to 400 professional players come through our camp, including Division I, Stanley Cup, and Olympic champions.
I'm a little surprised that this camp is still here. To be honest with you, we thought we'd get about a 20-year run, and it actually got better.
Visit our website at mnhockeycamps.com. Registration opens January 1st for 2019.
So, you know, it involves a transfer at the Division I level, involves sitting out a year, and you mentioned when we spoke earlier, an 18-game losing streak in junior hockey, and, you know, inevitably the common theme for people like you that continue to play and have successes is there's also a lot of potholes and you know, veers along the way. So one of the things that I think impresses me in talking to you is that you've made it your goal to make the most of every opportunity. So as hockey parents, we're watching a high school game, as hockey parents maybe thinking about high school age players, what advice would you have for them? What is it that they should be doing? What is it that you did that everybody else wasn't? Because not everybody can tell your story.
Yeah, and I think that opportunity is a big thing too, right? But, you know, like you said, and not everyone gets that opportunity, but what I tried to do is, because I didn't know what opportunity I was or wasn't going to get, is just be as prepared as I could for whatever opportunity came my way, whether that was a chance to play, you know, top minute role or top, you know, high minute role or not. You know, I just wanted to be successful and help the team in whatever role that was on the team and opportunity I got. And pretty much the way I figured that out was just, you know, what I that set my game and myself apart from the guy that was wanting my job, or you know, because it's a job after high school for the most part, and you know what I did extra that the next guy wouldn't do. You know, that's kind of what drove me in the off season and even in season doing more things. You know, if someone's going to go and just go to practice and work out and then go home, well, I'm going to go to practice, work out, and I'm going to shoot 100 pucks and then go home. You know, so just trying to set myself apart in any way that I can. And like I said, you're not always going to get every opportunity that you want or that you think you deserve, but making sure that you're ready for whatever opportunity comes your way, and I think is the biggest thing, and capitalizing on those opportunities when you do get them.
So, you know, I have been around hockey as a player, parent, administrator, and I think it's very evident when you watch a squirt game, what I would call visible gifts, and you see the player that may be dominant, he's faster, skilled, scoring all the goals. But I've always thought underneath that there's the invisible gifts, and what you just described. I'm sitting with you now, and you don't look any different than other kids your age, but what you described is you had this gift where you kept a positive frame of mind, had a lot of conviction in yourself, and were willing to make the sacrifices. Everyone says they want to be successful. Not everybody's willing to do the things it takes to be successful. So just paraphrasing what you said, I think those are some of the takeaways that maybe today's high school players playing in this game that we're watching could learn from the experience of Peter Krieger.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, like you said, you got to, you know, talk is cheap kind of thing. You know, you got to go out and do it. If you want to do something, I think, you know, for the most part, a lot of people have the ability to go and, you know, better their game, better their self, and be a better teammate. And in the end, that I think that's going to give them the best chance to be successful in life, and then also be a successful hockey career.
So, successful year. You were a junior last year, University of Minnesota Duluth. Everybody knows they, had a very good year. And I heard you showed up at practice the other day, flashing the bling for the kids to see.
Yeah, it was a pretty special opportunity, and especially getting to bring it back to St. Thomas. You know, the tradition of the players and coaching staff that we always go back, and you know, in the wintertime or anytime that we get a chance to help the guys out, and I try and help them out in the summertime too, wherever it can, and be just an option for them to go to and talk to, or you know, run things by. But always special when you get to go back Christmas time, and you know, I brought my ring back. Unfortunately, I didn't bring it today, so apologize about that. But you know, and just share that moment with, you know, old teammates and current coaches and former coaches and et cetera. It's a pretty special and unique thing.
Yeah, so I heard stories, made a big impact, and that's all about giving back. And I think St. Thomas and other quality programs really, have a history and a legacy, and people when they're done give back and want to be there to inspire the next wave. And the players currently, they'll do the same. And we have a lot of stories, not just you. Peter Tufto's doing very, very well in his college career, and Mark Mackesy, one of the St. Thomas coaching staff, said a similar thing where it wasn't the obvious kid that was going to go on to greatness, but somebody that really more earned over time working for it. So credit to you guys. So senior year, middle of the season, UMD is doing very, very well. You're gonna have another good season, and then college hockey ends. So why don't you just wrap it up? Maybe tell us what's next in your life.
Yeah. So I guess in the immediate future, I guess Christmas break, and then I head back to school here in a couple days, and we got the rest of the season. Got to make a strong second half push, and look to defend our national championship and go for back-to-back, which is something that hasn't been done in a long time. 2004 or 5 maybe with Denver. I think it was the last time that happened. So good second half with the team, and focus on that first, and then we'll focus on whatever happens after that when that time comes. But obviously I'll try and play hockey as long as I can. I don't know however long or short that will be, but look forward to playing the rest of this year, compete for another league championship, national championship, and then go from there. So
well, professional hockey, which would be the next step, is littered with players that have a lot of the attributes that you described, a lot of confidence in their own abilities, a willingness to put in that extra work, and really the mindset to take advantage when opportunities do come your way, because you never know when they're going to come. So I'm sure you'll continue to do well. So I want to thank you for your time today. So any final parting shots?
Thank you very much. No, I appreciate having me on here, and it's an honor. Yeah.
He's Peter Krieger, John Conley here. Enjoy the rest of the game.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right. That's perfect.
Yeah.
So let me
Back for period 2. We're going to get our audio cranked up here from producer Justin Moss. And boy, oh boy, Mark, I look up at that board. There's a 2. That's the Cadets. Lakers 0. 6 shots on goal for each team, but the number that really jumps out at me is that 4.
Yeah, this is, you just know, last game of the day, you don't know what flavor you're going to get. It's almost like expect the unexpected here.
And yeah, the unexpected was the Lakers with 1 minute to go in the period taking a major penalty. 13 seconds later, there's a power play goal for St. Thomas that makes it 2-0. Period winds down. They had a shorthanded scoring chance. Cashmark hit the post. Big rebound shot there by Judding. Doesn't go in. And now that we roll over, 17 goes on the board. 17-minute period upcoming. But they've still got to carry over 4 minutes from that major penalty. They'll be 4 on 5 when we drop the puck here in a moment. And Mark, this is a critical time. I know there's a lot of game left, but they do not want to fall further behind. It's 2-0 already for the Cadets, and Lakers do not want to fall further behind.
No, the guy to watch here is number 12, Ryan O'Neill. He's played really well the last couple days, and he may be sitting on a goal or 2 here today.
Well, let's watch to see what happens. There's O'Neill in front of the benches, rings this one deep, and comes over to our side, and it's McFadden. Mentioned earlier, we're going to talk about some of these multi-sport athletes. Brendan McFadden, the Pioneer Press Football Player of the Year. Unbelievable. How many touchdowns, Mark?
I think it was 38 or 40. It was a lot.
And they made the state championship game. Owatonna defeated them, but he joined the team a little bit late and was unavailable for the opener. And I did notice yesterday, I just said, here's a kid that looks really good. He's got his hockey legs under him, there's no doubt.
Yeah, Brennan was, a guy that pretty amazing. He played in the Upper Midwest High School Elite League, played football, so he was doing
Saturdays.
On
he played
Saturdays.
The Elite League, and where was he on Friday?
Right, and he was on the football field.
Friday Night Lights.
Doing double duty. And not every guy can do that, that's for sure.
I was talking to an NHL executive a little bit earlier this year. He goes, oh, yeah, we know who he is. They were charting him through that Elite League and, talking about what he's doing in his primary fall sport, which is football. So college plans?
I think he's still sort of looking at it. He could go either way. He's definitely good enough to play football or hockey.
Turnover.
At the next level. It's a function of really what does he want to do.
Jarvis wasn't ready for that one. Speltz with a shot, tried to bank it in off the leg. It hit the side of the net instead, and careless little turnover there behind the goal from St. Thomas. Crisis averted. They've gained the zone, and they play this one back on the blue line to Henry. Henry gets it over to Christie. Had a chance to speak with Christie's father on the break, and we were reminiscing yesterday's color commentator, Tom Chorsky. He said his high school line mate was their father, the Christie brothers, and older Christie playing junior hockey, doing quite well in the Alberta Junior Hockey League Brooks, soon to be headed to Colorado College, and eventually younger brother Rob's going to join him, also committed to Colorado College.
Yeah, Ray, he's off to a great start up there, and no surprise, he was one of the most underrated high school hockey players last year in the state.
No respect. Jackson Hallam plays this one behind the end line, and nice little play here from O'Brien. O'Brien has the first goal in this game. It was a power play, and second goal also scored on the power play. They still have 2 minutes 14 seconds left of power play time. And Mark, let's talk about Prior Lake for a second. They did a pretty good job coming out for this period and at least running off the first 2 minutes of the 4 that were on the board as they try to kill off this major.
Absolutely. These guys play hard, block shots, they're gritty, they're slowing these guys down. Real impressed.
Off the mic, when we did talk on the break, you mentioned that Prior Lake was doing a pretty good job tactically clogging that neutral zone, and we were discussing some of the ways St. Thomas, you were discussing some of the ways they might be able to penetrate the zone and hold it. So when we get back to 5-on-5, that's definitely one of the things we'll watch. Vega behind the end line, and he's ridden off the puck by Emerson. Keeps on his stick, walking it out front, and somebody zigged when they were looking for a zag. It goes the length of the ice, and we get a clear all the way by Jervis onto the stick of our forechecker O'Brien. I'm trying to figure out exactly what the delay was for. Were they saying delayed icing or delayed offside, Mark?
I think it was delayed offside.
Okay, usually, oh, there's a slashing call possibly, and maybe not. They took a slap at it, and Herzog's stick went high into the air, and he had to go over to pick it up. Down behind the end line is Christie. Christie has this puck, tries to get it back to the blue line, and now it is one of the Prior Lake players, Cable, that has to go pick up his stick. Nobody seems to be holding on too tight.
No, this is not a great start for St. Thomas on the power play, and sometimes that can be a blessing and a curse. You get the 5-minute. They scored early, which was great, and have kind of struggled to get things together since.
It's 3.5 minutes into the period. They've been on 5-on-4 the whole time. Only one shot has made it toward the goal. One shot on goal during this extended power play this period. So credit the Lakers. They've done a very good job of keeping St. Thomas at bay. Christie goes to shoot, and he's rubbed out. Big check comes off. That's 28. He hasn't played as much. I don't think he's even on my line chart. I didn't go too deep. 28 is Hunter Lincoln. Oh, this is the presidential team. They got a Kennedy and a Lincoln.
Yeah, that's it. That's
let me add him. I asked the coaches for some help. They gave me 3 lines deep, and it turns out Lincoln, one of the other players on the roster. So 13:01 remains. A weird little whistle here. 1 second to go. It's going to be one more second until Prior Lake returns to full strength. St. Thomas has the zone, but they don't have the puck yet. Heavy on the forecheck. This is O'Brien. God, your nephew's got logging a lot of time. Did they take him off, or has it been a 3-minute shift? He must have jumped off for 20 seconds
he
or
got
something.
a little power play time there, and now he's back out with his regular line.
One of triplets, I'm told?
One of triplets and a younger brother who's a Bantam AA player over with Sibley.
So are the other 2 boys or girls that are the same 10th grade age?
They're boys, and they actually skate on our JV team.
Okay, so they have a possibility of maybe reuniting and could. Oh, Baudette smokes him, and there's no call there. Good for St. Thomas, but, Baudette's so tall, oftentimes those get called for a penalty. Speltz, and fanning on it is Jutting. He was firing into a net before Jarvis could get over and just couldn't get control of that bobbling puck with the one-timer. Cash Money fighting through here. He ticks it over to, look at that last pass attempt from Jutting. He was trying to slide it over to Lincoln. Lincoln with a shot. This one hits a skate boot and goes awry. I wonder why Lincoln wasn't out yesterday or the day before for many shifts. If he was, I didn't see him much, but he's been pretty impressive here. 2 shifts and looking good for the Lakers.
Yeah, nice job by Lincoln there. Nice job by Baudette. You see a big hit like that every game. He's a big kid, 6'2", 215 pounds. plays with an edge.
All right, so Mark, it's my 6th game this year that I've announced for St. Thomas. Hard to believe, 5 between the Hockey for Life, 3, 2 at the opener, and working for the Cadet Broadcast Network. John Wecken asked me if I would do a game. Got to do the Hill Murray game. So if you're following these games, you've heard me announce all of these these graduates before. Mark's maybe going to add one to the list, but as we work our way through the second period, let's talk about some of the people that have gone on to do neat things after graduating from these fine schools. Offside the call. So first one, I always start with this one. I'm going to give you a dating game nickname here. It's marvelous, Mark Mackesy. So Jim Lang, dating game host.
Jim Lang, absolutely.
And we are dating ourselves, because when I tell the younger people that, they're like, what are you talking about? Anyway, Jim Lang was a graduate of St. Thomas Academy, also University of Minnesota, an Evans Scholar, just like me, and Hollywood fame with a game show host, an early dating show called The Dating Game. Passed away the last few years. I don't know how many years it's been, but Jim Lang's the first one. Congressman Ted Emmer.
Former hockey player at St. Thomas Academy. I know he coached over in Orono. Kids grew up over there, and he was involved with youth hockey over there for many years.
Back to the action, it's Hallam. Hallam pulls it off the wall, skates out to the neutral zone, stretch pass, or rink-wide pass doesn't quite connect. And this one's chipped down deep by Killian. It's the second period. We get a much longer change. Both teams are defending the goal furthest from the bench, and that always makes for some interesting sequences. Players are spinning and falling, and this one winds up onto the stick of Hallam. Hallam cutting over, tries a centering pass, and denied. Huge shot block there. Vega went to fire it into what looked to be a yawning goal mouth, and credit Cable with not only great hockey here, but great shot blocking skills. He knocked that one down. Now he's crashing toward the net, and he peels off, and it falls down kind of in a whirling dervish. Swanson trying to get the puck in deep, and he couldn't quite get it over to Cable. Played by Jarvis. This is onto the stick of defender Henry, and Henry brings it up in front of the benches. Henry up ahead, dumped in deep by O'Neill.
Yeah, Ryan O'Neill, nice dump and a good change.
Players seem to be falling more this period, and I don't know why.
Yeah, I think this has just been, it's been a little bit sloppy at times on both ends. Guys are falling down, and maybe passes haven't quite been as crisp as they'd like them to be.
So a couple more graduates for our Prior Lake viewers that may not know a lot about the Academy. Vince Flynn's an author. He is sadly passed, but a guy a little bit younger than us, maybe Mark, and every time I say that name, people go, I absolutely love his books. He was a great author.
He really was, and just a great guy and a great human being, and did a lot for a lot of people in a sort of short period of time, and did a lot for St. Thomas Academy.
Cashmark runs out of room and goes down hard into the end board. He was trying to get that pass over to Judding, just kind of ran out of room. And centering pass outside to Herzog, and Herzog's very frustrated as the goaltender managed to seal that one and makes a huge save. Nice job by Shopbell keeping the Lakers in it.
Yeah, great play by McFadden. He's got his legs here tonight, and Herzog with a grade A chance and a great stop.
Two more graduates, the youngest four-star general ever in the U.S. Army. Later went on to write books for the card game Bridge. Notable on two fronts, that's Alfred Grunther. I think it's been a while since he went to school there. You may not know him.
No, he was before my time.
Big injury here, and now the down player. We get to stop at your play. He's not moving. He's holding his head, so let's be hopeful that he bounces back quickly, can return to this game. Now he gets up to his knees. That is Cashmark, I believe. Cashmark went down hard. Last one I've got for St. Thomas, and then maybe I'll ask you if you'd like to add anything to it. Tommy Gibbons. Tommy Gibbons graduated St. Thomas and ultimately became the sheriff of Ramsey County. That's a lot of responsibility. Pretty cool, right? I don't think I'd mention him if that's all he did. Somewhere in between, he fought Jack Dempsey for the heavyweight championship of the world.
Yeah, I mean, you know, another one of those great athletes out of St. Paul.
St. Paul, like we said yesterday, you know, you don't hear that from a Southwest suburban kid over in like Edina or Minnetonka, where they fight for the heavyweight championship of the world. I can say that. I'm from the Southwest suburbs. So, Mark, got anybody you want to add to that? St. Thomas graduates?
You know, I do, and it's with an interesting connection here. George Monahan was class of 1951, went on to West Point, was the captain of the hockey team there under Jack Riley, went on to have a great career in the military, was a 3-star general.
Wow.
Served in the Reagan and Bush White Houses, flew over 100 missions between Korea and Vietnam.
So he's a military general. He had a flying ace, and then politically in an administration, kind of did it all after college. What an interesting guy.
Did it all, and his nephew, Greg Monahan, known as Mono, go to a hockey rink and somebody's going to know him, is the goalie coach for the cadets and the head JV coach, and just a great guy.
Good stuff. Back to the action. We'll get to the Prior Lake graduates in just a bit. Out to the neutral zone. The puck is a bobbling and a wobbling, and we get a stoppage of play. We're going to bring it back down into the St. Thomas end. In case you just joined us, there are 8 minutes, 57 seconds left in the second period. Cadets lead 2-0. Coming up on the game's midpoint, not too many shots on goal, even though we've had quite a bit of power play time. Just 16 shots have made it through to the net, and that's both teams combined. Kept in at the point over on the right side by Wingas, and intensity's picked up a little bit. It's getting a little bit more physical, Mark.
Yeah, there's a little bit more physical. Not a great pace or flow to this game. Quite a few whistles. Obviously, I think a little slower pace than St. Thomas would like. This is probably more what Prior Lake had in mind, was just kind of keep this thing, play it tight, methodical. When you get your chances, jump on them.
When it was 3-1, one of the comments in the Edina Chaska game was our color analyst Brad Atall said Chaska's got to get the next goal. They wouldn't want to fall down 4-1. Kind of the same thing right here. It's 2-0. We're now past the midpoint of the game, and 3-0 might be too tall of an order. So if the Cadets could get if the Lakers could get the next goal, that would certainly make things a lot more interesting. This shot goes high, just deflected up off the waffle, the blocker of goaltender Jarvis. Big wrister there from Cable. And, you know, his hockey here, I think it's grown over the time we've been here for 3 days. It just keeps getting better and better.
Yeah, I think he wins the award for that, that's for sure.
How are those Cadets doing?
Well, as far as the hockey hair goes?
Yes.
I'll tell you what, you may see one guy try and pull it off a little bit, but it's pretty tough because there's a certain level that they have to keep their hair cut to.
And what is that level?
Well, it's above the ears, that's for sure. You know, if you're not following that, you're going to get demerits, and you know, it just kind of teaches these guys a little lesson that there's a way that you have to present yourself when you go there, and if you don't, you're going to hear about it.
Since we started and since we came on, we had 42 calls to the headmaster inquiring about families sending their child to St. Thomas. When he goes to call them back, 39 have just indicated no interest now that Mark has set forth the hair standards for the St. Thomas Academy over in Mendota Heights. So,
well, there's a lot of ways you can style it, even when it's short.
Christie! Oh, what a good shot there, and a huge save by Shop Bell. So having some fun here. It's the 12th game out of 12. Let's get back to the action, 7-11. And thank you for that. I was curious, did not know what the hair guidelines were at St. Thomas. I just knew that hockey hair is out of the question. So scrum along the wall. It pops out onto the stick of the aforementioned Lincoln. He's been fun to watch. I don't know where he was the first few, but he's looking great. And a little spin move there. Tries to slide it past Shimmick. Kept in. Nice chip and chase from Beatty. Beatty takes it down to the end line. And swinging the other direction is Hallam. Hallam out to the neutral zone. Fights through the check. Lincoln swatting at that puck. And who's got it? Still Hallam. Hard to believe he kept it on his stick for that long. Pretty impressive feats of strength. A Festivus miracle here for, shot goes just wide from Vega. But yeah, that's the Festivus feat of strength for Jackson Hallam, carrying the puck that long with two guys draped over his shoulder.
I mean, he's got great speed, and like I said, watch him as the game goes on. He seems to get stronger and faster, and when guys tire down, that's when he starts to make more happen.
This is a snap pass out to the neutral zone, grabbed up by Green. Green chip and chase. He goes off the ice, and he, chip and no chase, chip and a shift, I guess, and stretch pass coming back the other way. They get this one up to Vega. Vega in front of the St. Thomas benches. Everybody's got to tag up as it pops out. Here comes Traxel, 3-on-2 with a trailer. The trailer is actually jutting, and they couldn't find him. He was in all that white space there. I was looking to see, could they get that one over to Jutting? He's got that big shot that we talked about and a super quick release. Down to the end line. Down behind the goal. Christie rips it from, Christie just absolutely rips it from Emmerich, and this is a shot. Big save by Shop Bell, and Mark, I'll say it, Shop Bell's keeping him in it.
Yeah, he seems to be getting stronger as this game goes on. He's seeing the puck really well.
Yeah, and I'm seeing the jerseys pretty well. I really like that. We both agreed its jersey color is growing on us, and St. Thomas with a very classic look. Great great sets both ways. Oh, entering the zone, everybody tags up. Did you see what a creative, clever move there for Bamer to stay on side? Looked like he was going to be 3 feet off, and all of a sudden he quickly stopped and dragged that back foot.
Yeah, that's a nice, good, smart play by him. And the one guy for St. Thomas that's starting to really kind of pick it up and they're following his lead a little bit is Rob Christie. He's had a strong period here.
So Prior Lake graduates, there's a soccer player, professional, I believe, from Prior Lake named Teal Bunbury. He went to Shattuck St. Mary's and was in their, what do they call them, programs of excellence or whatever. So he's got a sister she's an actress, Kylie Bunbury. I can't verify that she actually graduated. I'm working through Wikipedia on this, and I can't verify, but I believe Kylie Bunbury graduated from Prior Lake High School, and we'll come back with a couple more when we get our next stoppage of play. 4:50 remaining in the second period. Lofted pass, and they're trying to stretch this one all the way out to Soderling on retreat. We now have O'Brien. O'Brien, he was your pick to get one of the goals today, and we'll keep an eye on. Oh, no, you said Ryan O'Neill. O'Brien's already got his. Ryan O'Neill was your pick, right?
Yeah, Ryan O'Neill, keep an eye on him. He's
loose puck. Jarvis is sprawled. Nobody can get the puck under him, and 4 cracks at it there from Prior Lake. It's going to be interesting to see who's lying on top of it. I think it could be anybody, Mark.
Yeah, Jarvis, nice job just holding his position down there and waiting for help.
So here's an interesting one. I don't think you did a Prior Lake game with me yet. So Drew Christensen is one of the youngest politicians in America, 25 years old. Interesting piece of legislation actually proposed in the Minnesota State Legislature to ban Ari Lyondike Jr. from visiting the state of Minnesota.
Wow.
Wow. So more to the story. So let me repeat that. Drew Christensen, 25-year-old politician. I don't know what level. Maybe your dad would know, but banning Ari Lyondike Jr., son of the famous auto racer, from visiting the state of Minnesota. We'll come back to that. Out to the neutral zone. This is a pass a little bit hard to catch. I don't know why they went with the lofted pass to Herzog. They could have just delivered a flat pass. There was nobody between them. Cashmark is back. I'm glad to see it. He got rocked earlier and was slow to get up, but comes right back out the next shift. That's a good sign. Herzog. No, I'm sorry, that's McFadden. No, that is Herzog. And this one goes the length of the ice, icing the call. So another one for you. Becca Kufrin. She's a graduate of Prior Lake. She appeared on The Bachelor the season the guy was Ari Lyondike Jr. So tying it all together, Mark, evidently she was scorned. It was like going to be her at the end, and then he didn't give her the rose or whatever. She gets the boot. So sticking up for his peeps, his high school friend, or at least somebody from his town, Drew Christensen, introduces legislation. Ari's not welcome in Minnesota.
I'm amazed, John, at how many, we've gone through this, there's the entertainment industry is represented here.
Well,
at every one of these schools, and I suppose maybe that's not, it's maybe common, but every high school we've talked about seems to have somebody that hits that target.
Sergeant Slaughter, yeah. We need people to continue to update Wikipedia because some fascinating stuff can be shared between periods. So we got through that. Now we'll talk about the ringing the little case of tinnitus here. Big wrister as it hits the post, and nice shot there by Beatty, and that would have made it 2-1. They really needed that goal. Back behind the goal line is Shimmick. Shimmick brings this one out in the direction of McLean Bodette. Now they chip it over in front of the benches to O'Neill. O'Neill's pass out to the neutral zone. It's Vega, gains red line, gains blue, and tries to find a passing lane, drop pass, and going just wide. It's a shot from Shimmick. Ripped off and going the other way. It's Kennedy. No, that's Lincoln. I get my Mount Rushmore guys confused.
Right, one of the former presidents.
Isn't it funny? They got a Kennedy and a Lincoln on this team. So I'm going to have to ask somebody where he was the first 2 games because he's played very well the few shifts that we've seen him here. So this one is shot in wide, steered aside by Jarvis, and 2:40 remaining in the second period. 14 shots on goal for the Cadets. 2 of them got by. Shot Bell, and including the first one of the game, as I recall. Shot Bell with another save there. And just 9 shots on goal for the Lakers, but they're getting closer. That one hit a post, and they're probably not too far away from getting their first goal. Out to the neutral zone. This one's onto the stick of Shimmick. Shimmick gets hit hard, and the puck bobbles, and everybody's got to tag up. St. Thomas can't quite enter the zone. They got to wait for one guy to get back on side, and as soon as the puck popped out, somebody else needed to get offside. Couldn't quite time it right. Nice pass onto the stick of Kimmis. Kimmis gets hit. He goes down in a crumple, and pace is really picking up. You know what's going to happen, Mark? We're going to have a horn and go take the second period break.
Wow, this has.
Pretty good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. Soderling cuts over to his forehand, fights through, knifing through there. Big shot and a huge save. Nice play there by Schoppel to get control of the shot and knock it down, but he couldn't cover the rebound, and play continues on the forecheck. We've got Kahlberg working hard, heavy on the forecheck. He's hounding Henry. Henry relieves the pressure, gets it over to Bamer. So talking about St. Thomas, any prognosis? When's Tanner Brower coming back?
Well, it's interesting you ask about him. He actually broke his wrist in football and was playing football with a broken wrist, and then he started the season, and he aggravated it in the game against Eden Prairie. So I think Tanner's probably about 2 or 3 weeks away from getting back here. The other guy is Ben Stucker, senior.
I forgot that name, yeah.
Who broke his collarbone basically on the first shift of the season against Minnetonka.
Forgot, yeah. Well, good. Get well soon, boys. 1 minute to go in this second period. Nice pass here, and Cable with a shot. This one is saved by Jervis, but he had no idea where the rebound went. It popped up high and cleared out nicely by the cadet defender. Cable out to the neutral zone. He's just a junior. I like the way he plays, and he's very impressive.
Yeah, he's got a nice game.
Not just that here. Ooh, misplayed by the goaltender, and pops out. Oh, and a stick there gets underneath Henry, and he goes down. No penalty called. Kind of a weird one. Looked like a trip. So we got a great second to third period guess. It's the last intermission of the tournament. We're going to start out with Tommy Wingus, wrap it up with Luke Herzog. Those are filmed from Jack's Cafe in Minneapolis. Classmate of yours, or a high school mate of yours, Bill Kozlak, kind enough to sponsor that. And we had Tommy Odegaard from the St. Thomas basketball team as our host. Did a great job. Learn more about Tommy Wingus and Luke Herzog away from the rink. Stick around. Their interviews air between periods 2 and 3, just moments from now. Prior Lake is really playing spirited hockey here. We've got a big hit that's going to be a penalty on St. Thomas's number 3, Henry, and delayed penalty situation. 12 seconds to go, and Lincoln goes off. He got hit pretty hard, but penalty there on Henry, and 11 seconds to go, 12 seconds to go. If nothing else, a lot of that overhangs into period 3.
Yeah, I mean, that's obviously we'll see what happens the rest of the way here, but that's going to be their first power play of the night and a big spot in the game, no doubt.
I'm John Conley, joined by Mark Mackesy. Mark and I have done 4 games, right?
We have.
Yep, we've done 4 games together. Mark is great to work with, and really enjoy having him in the booth. So we're going to take a quick break. Justin's going to take control here in 12 seconds, and we're going to take about a 12-minute break and come back for period 3. St. Thomas rings the boards, but it's kept in by Cabell. 5-4-3-2. And out to neutral zone. Christie's breakaway doesn't matter. He runs out of time and tucks it into the empty net. Mark, we'll be back, and when we come back, we can give a little recap on what happened through 2 periods and talk about period 3. Take it away, Justin.
Hi, I'm Bill Kozlak. Welcome to Jack's Cafe. We've been on this corner in Northeast Minneapolis since 1933. Come join the good times in my bar and restaurant.
All right, so we're at the Jack's Cafe. We're at the upper level of the Jack's Cafe. I'm with Thomas Wingus.
Thanks for having me, Odie.
Of course. St. Thomas Academy. What position? Forward defense? Left defenseman.
Right.
What number?
6.
Number
okay.
6. All right, so we're going to play a little quick game, 2 lies and a truth. So you tell me two lies and a truth, and I got to find out which is which.
All right, so I'm going to have to go with I can run under a 6-minute mile. I'm a DJ in my free time, and I'm second cousins with George Bush.
I'm going to have to think about that for a while, so we'll get back to that.
Sounds good.
So what's your favorite place you've vacationed so far?
Probably Hawaii. Zip lining there was pretty cool.
Is that what you like, zip lining?
Yeah, that's
seeing
my favorite.
Seeing Hawaii, Honolulu.
Seeing all like the birds and stuff, animals.
Any girls? Any girls?
A lot of girls.
Oh, okay. What's a future place you're looking at?
I'd like to go to Greece one time.
Greece would be fun.
With the boys.
Greece with the boys would be a fun time.
That would be a nice time.
What's your favorite type of music?
I love EDM. I'm pretty fond of that.
Is
Progressive
EDM
house, future house, EDM.
Is EDM? Is that like a upbeat type of music? What is that?
Club banging, fist pumping.
Okay, so
just like Muzzy, my friend Muzzy loves that too.
So what's your favorite EDM artist? If I
I'm gonna have to go with Martin Garrix.
Martin Garrix.
Mm-hmm.
What's like a famous work of his? Like, does he go?
Nah,
like, can you give me a
really
beat?
like that. Like
that. Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right, that makes sense.
You
okay.
like that?
Yeah, no, I like it. So that's interesting. So who's your celebrity crush?
I'm gonna have to go with Emily Ratajkowski. She's a model.
She's a model.
Yeah.
What color hair does she have?
She's a brunette.
You like the brunettes? Is that why? Is that why? Okay.
Yeah.
So if you're running to her boyfriend and you got one chance to say something to him, say, hey, she belongs to me. Emily belongs to me. What are you gonna say? Like, do you have any like game plan of what you'd say?
Game plan, decision. I don't know. I'm gonna have to just tell him no. I guess like just take her back to my house. I guess.
Okay. Yeah, that's bold. That's bold. Okay. What's the best thing about Viz Girls?
I'm gonna have to say they're. I love them all. Their support for the boys, for the games. They're always out there in the rink. So.
Do you ever give any in particular Viz Girl jersey or anything to wear?
I will this year. Lily Peterson. I'm gonna have to give her a shot.
Lily Peterson. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
She's my favorite.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna go to break right here.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Here we are in the Cosmopolitan Room at Jack's Cafe, where we hold private events, weddings, corporate functions, groups of 100 to 275. We've even hosted Herb Brooks and many of the great hockey players on the 1980 Olympic hockey team, as well as hosted every Gopher National Championship team year-end banquet. We would look forward to booking your banquet soon.
Okay, so
all right, back to the truth.
We're back at Jack's Cafe. Thomas Wingus, left defenseman. So back to Two Lies and a Truth. What was it? You're a DJ.
DJ. My second cousin.
Okay, second cousin. George Bush.
And I can run under a 6-minute mile.
6-minute mile. Okay.
See if you can guess.
I have to say the 6-minute mile. I think that's the truth. The other two are lies.
No. What's wrong? I'm actually a DJ in my free time.
DJ? Would you like you want to give yourself a little shout out or something?
Yeah, 2 dubs.
2 dubs on what platform?
SoundCloud.
SoundCloud. Okay.
Well, 2 dots over the U.
Well, 2 dots. Okay. All right. Well, it's fun having you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So we're gonna wrap it up.
Cafe.
Thanks to Jack's Cafe for the venue. Thank you so much. Killed it, man.
Thanks, bro.
Minnesota's hockey culture is one of, if not the best in America, so it's only fitting that one of the best hockey camps in the world is right here in Nisswa.
This is Dan Germanson. Welcome to Minnesota Hockey Camps. We are gearing up for our 39th summer based in Nisswa, Minnesota in the beautiful Brainerd Lakes area. At MHC, there is a culture that breeds success. We offer resident and day camps for boys and girls of all ages from mites to NHL, 9 weeks throughout the summer.
We've had probably 700 NHLers come through here.
We have 32 hockey-related activities per week. Over the years, we have had close to 400 professional players come through our camp, including Division I, Stanley Cup, and Olympic champions.
I'm a little surprised that this camp is still here. To be honest with you, we thought it would be about a 20-year run, and it actually got better.
Visit our website at mnhockeycamps.com. Registration opens January 1st for 2019.
Hi, I'm Bill Kozlak. Welcome to Jack's Cafe. We've been on this corner in Northeast Minneapolis since 1933. Come join the good times in my bar and restaurant.
All right, so we're me, Luke Herzog. What are you, forward, defenseman?
I'm a forward, left wing, yep.
Left wing, St. Thomas Academy. We're over here at the patio of Jack's Cafe in Minneapolis. It's beautiful outside right now.
It's really nice out here.
It's a great venue. It's a great restaurant. So I'm gonna ask you a couple questions, just get the ice broke and everything. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna do 2 lies and a truth. So you tell me 2 lies and a truth, and I decide which is which.
All right, 2 lies and a truth. One, I can solve a Rubik's Cube within 30 seconds. Second one is I've beaten you 1v1 in a game of basketball. And third is I made it to round 82 in Black Ops 2 Zombies on Alcatraz map.
All those could be truths or lies, so I'm gonna think about that for a little bit, and then I'm gonna come back to it. So what's your favorite place you've vacationed so far, Luke?
I haven't done a lot of vacationing in my life, but Mexico is definitely one of the best spots I've been to. It was pretty nice there.
What part?
Sunny.
Do you know?
Puerto Vallarta, actually.
Puerto Vallarta. Okay.
Right in the.
What'd you like about it?
The weather was great. The beaches were nice, and the food was pretty good too.
You're a pretty good-looking guy. You pick up on any girls over there?
Nah, I didn't really see any.
No?
It was a bad time of the vacation, I guess.
What about in the future? Where are we thinking?
Mexico again, yeah. Okay. Probably Punta Mita. That's where I think I'm going to go for spring break.
Hopefully there'll be some women there, right?
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay. What's your favorite type of music?
I'd probably say I'm more of a feels guy. I like my feels music. Okay. So kind of the type of music that makes you want to kind of cry. When
like Somo.
Yeah, Somo, yeah.
What's that song? Okay, I keep going.
What song?
What's the song "Ride" by Somo? Isn't that?
I've heard it. Yeah.
Okay. Would you say it's your favorite, maybe?
Yeah, sure. We'll go with that.
How does it go? I haven't heard it in a while.
I actually haven't either.
Whoa, 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 yeah. Whoa, 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 yeah. Oh, whoa, oh, oh, yeah, yeah.
It's been like it's been a while.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I understand.
Yeah.
Who's your celebrity crush?
I have to say my celebrity crush is probably Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie.
Yeah.
What color hair does she have?
She's blonde. Yep. She. Have you seen The Wolf on Wall Street?
Wolf of Wall Street.
Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, I've seen that movie.
She's actually the one of the main characters in it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it seems like a common theme for the St. Thomas Academy cadets is just kind of have crushes on blonde girls, you know?
Yeah, I don't know what to say.
I mean, yeah. Okay. So if you see her in person, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do to wow her? Say, wow, that Luke Herzog kid is something special.
I think I would maybe do something that you do. Maybe show her the jawline a little bit.
Ooh,
she would probably dig that a little bit.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Give her a little wink. I don't know.
Not a kiss?
Nah.
No,
not
that's too
later.
soon. That's
too soon.
Okay.
Don't want to overstep.
So, as we all know, St. Thomas Academy, all male school.
Yeah.
We got a school right next to us, visitation, all girls.
Yeah.
What's our favorite thing about visitation girls?
The Viz girls, they're great. They're awesome. Really supportive. You see them at all of our sporting events.
Yeah.
Great girls. I'd like to give a special shout out to one of my best friends, Natalie Simmons. She's always there for me. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
You haven't had a relationship with Natalie, have you?
I have not, no. Like I said, she's one of my best friends. That'd be a little weird.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to go to break right now.
Yeah.
Welcome to Jack's Cafe. Since 1933, the Kozlak family. We welcome you this holiday season for a nice, cozy fireplace dinner. We look forward to seeing you soon.
All right, we're back from our break. We're at Jack's Cafe patio. It's a beautiful day out again. So we're gonna go back to 2 lies and a truth. So what was it again? You beat me in basketball, 1-on-1.
1v1, yeah, a little street ball. Second one was round 82 on zombies, Black Ops 2 Zombies.
Okay.
Alcatraz map, which is pretty hard. And then the third one is the Rubik's Cube under 30 seconds.
Rubik's Cube.
Yeah.
I'd say Rubik's Cube is a lie. Your hand-eye coordination isn't too strong.
Yeah, it's not like yours.
Your basketball skills against me, that's got to be a lie. There might have been a time, but I don't recall it, so that's a lie. I'd say the zombies is your best bet.
Yeah, you got that right.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to wrap it up here at Jack's Cafe. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh boy, we are back for the final period of Hockey for Life. Youth Hockey Hub, tradition, Hockey for Life here from Prior Lake. And boy, we've got a crowd in the house. You know, we've talked a little bit earlier this week about McLean Bodette. He wears number 5 for St. Thomas. He's son of your high school teammate, Dan Bodette. He's come here for junior, senior year. He's from Colorado, and a bunch of kids with an A on their hat. The Arapahoe Warriors, it looks like about a Pee-wee team, maybe it squirts. These kids are in the house. They came to see McLean because he used to play for the Warriors Club when he was their age.
Yeah, Arapahoe comes up here every year, and they have been doing it, and they're guys like Dan and others from Minnesota that want to sort of show these guys the Minnesota hockey experience at the youth level, the high school level, the college level, the pro level. And so they religiously make a trek up here, and I think they have a lot of fun with it.
Center ice face-off with 17 on the board. We do, however, have a penalty overhanging. It could be good news for the Lakers. They've got a power play for the next 1 minute 49 seconds. And you know, I've got a limited viewing here, I guess is what the NHL scouts would say. Talked to some parents, actually, from Prior Lake over the period break. They said that Lincoln, that I'm so impressed with, he's kind of a bubble player, varsity JV. He's been playing JV and a little bit of varsity, and we're going to keep an eye on him. I don't know what class he is, but he's been fun to watch. Puck is thrown out to the neutral zone, and good clear by St. Thomas. Cable plays this one over, and back into his own end. It's Traxell. Traxell over to Cable, back to Traxell. Gains the red, gains the blue, and takes the puck in wide down into the corner. Little counter move, tries to bring it out top, and a nice play there to break it up by McFadden. McFadden gets it almost out of the zone, but good steal here and a nice shot off the stick of Speltz. Judding plays it back to the blue line, but it hits a bobble and pops out over the stick of Traxell. Nice pass onto the stick of Speltz. Oh, look at this pass. He hits Cashmark. Love Charlie. Cashmark takes this one in deep and plays it back to the blue line. Cable. Speltz, Cashmark, over to Traxell. Everybody's touching it except for one guy right now. You just know they're trying to get the trigger man over here, Judding, and that's exactly what happens. Mark, we could see that one developing right in front of us. You knew the puck was going over there for that big one-timer.
He's just really impressive. I mean, he's just really smart hockey player, and he's one of these guys that you almost feel like if he gets one, he's going to get two, and if he gets two, he might get three.
We've got somebody in the house here from Colorado College. You introduced me. It's the assistant coach from Colorado College, keeping an eye on Christie and Judding, and lots of Minnesota players, a pipeline, if you will, from the Twin Cities down there. Recent commitments also from Batchelder, Gleason. Anyone else I'm leaving out?
Yes, Nate Schweitzer, the defenseman from Benilde St. Margaret's.
Good call. Good call. Nice player.
And so they've got Leon Hayward is here tonight, and he's doing a really nice job of identifying quality Minnesota players. And he, just told me a minute ago that he feels real strongly about their ability to come in here and compete and find pockets of hockey players in this state.
15 minutes to go. That penalty has expired. And Prior Lake trying to find a way out of the zone. They play this one back to the blue line. Kept in nicely by Bamer, however. Bamer with a shot. This one goes high and wide and serves the purpose of breaking it out for Prior Lake, doing their work for them, Mark.
Yeah, that was one of those that great clearing pass there.
It's funny, you know, you can shoot into the goalie all day and never score, and then you get the idea to shoot top corner really from the blue line. And I don't need to explain this to you. You're a college-level defenseman. Shooting near side is a whole lot different because you don't have that one wing far and break out like that. So when you're out top, doesn't really matter, but if you get stretched out to the side, lower you get, the more you want to keep that one on the near side. Tipped out to the neutral zone and onto the stick of Killian. Couple bodies falling down there, and on retreat it's Shimmick. Shimmick plays this one over to Killian, and Killian has to circle back and plays Shimmick one more time. Played in front of the benches, onto the stick of Shimmick. A little bit of back and forth, but nothing going around, nothing happening. Kind of like the old washing machine expression.
No,
round and round, nothing happens.
I mean, no great scoring chances yet this period, but we're going to see some here yet, John. This game is far from over.
No doubt, and as I mentioned, I think all 8 teams here are too good to leave without getting something away from this. At this point, Prior Lake has a regulation tie, but they did lose in overtime to Lakeville North. They're the only winless team here, and wouldn't be surprised if they end up spirited third period, maybe closing the gap here, maybe get 2 or 3, force overtime, and leave here with the win. St. Thomas has their win already. They did beat Stillwater 4-3 on the first day.
Yeah, that was a great game, tight game. Stillwater has gotten off to a great start this year. They added Danny Ehrman to their coaching staff, and Danny Ehrman and Mike Vanelli, who's on the St. Thomas Academy coaching staff, both former Gophers. Mike was the captain there. They were actually roommates in college.
Wow, lots of stuff here with ties. It's a small world, you know. We've got Mr. Christie over our left shoulder. He was line mates of Shorsky's father. Last night's Edina game had a little stroll, asked somebody a question about Prior Lake. Turns out it's the Jutting brothers, the twin brothers from Richfield's great class of '87. They went to the '86 state tournament, and really thrilling fashion. Not just, it's like, you remember when the U.S. beat the Russians? That wasn't enough to win the gold medal. They had to win one more game, and it was Finland. When Richfield beat Edina, that wasn't enough to get to the state tournament in '86. They had to win one more. That was a section semi. They actually beat Minnetonka the next day, which they did. So they're in the house as well. It's a lot of intergenerational hockey stories here at the building, just like you mentioned.
Yeah, we're seeing that that next wave of the sons of some of those great players in the '80s, and Richfield, they were a pretty good team. And obviously, Edina was a great team that year, and Richfield was a tough out. And with Damian Rhodes, that goalie, he was as good as we've seen.
You know, Richfield was a real tough out, and it was a tough schedule. So I guess the modern-day equivalent would be maybe somebody like, you know, Izetta or Eden Prairie in a league right now that could conceivably have a losing record when they go to the sections and get through. That's just what happened 2 years ago with Wayzata. You know, steady diet of Edina, Minnetonka, and Eden Prairie that year doesn't do wonders for your record. Back to the action here. We got a great one. It's 2-0. Cadets leading the Lakers. 12 minutes to go, and it's been a very good start to this period from Prior Lake. Turning it over, though, that's kind of a bad time for it, and a huge save. Shot Bell, like I said, late second period. He's keeping a minute.
Yeah, that was Jackson Hallam again. I mean, watch him in the third period with his speed and his energy and his jump. He's going to get chances here.
Face-off comes to the left of goaltender Shot Bell. Into the face-off circle is Jutting. Jutting is going to get on the score sheet with a goal or an assist. Mark, I'm going to go on record right now. It's third period. He's too high-powered of a player not to, and he's trying to stretch out to the neutral zone, looking for that high pass. Never comes. He's got to retreat back into the zone. On the forecheck is McFadden. So I mentioned McFadden was the Pioneer Press Football Player of the Year. Herzog, college committed, North Dakota. Not hockey, though. He's going to join the football team, and that's a power.
Yeah, he's, you know what, I mean, you talk about a kid that's a competitor. I mean, he's gonna have a great career up there. He was getting some looks from some Division I football programs, and he's just, he's a hard-nosed guy that really gets after it.
Donahue college committed, Boston College for golf, another St. Thomas player, and Christie, the only hockey commit thus far. There certainly will be some more players on this team that ultimately do reach the Division I level. 11 minutes to go in this game. It's getting to be 9 o'clock hour here from Prior Lake, and kind of sad to see this one wind down. We're coming close to the final moments of the hockey for life. Just one period left and not even a full one. Ticked off the stick, it's in deep. Kahlberg, strong on the forecheck, is Swanson. Swanson plays hard all the time and kind of a hallmark of this Prior Lake team.
Yeah, starting to open up a little bit here, John, on both ends. We're seeing a little bit more of a push by Prior Lake to get something rolling here. It's
nice to see them playing with a sense of urgency. They are definitely trying to make something happen, and they also have, oh, there's an interference call. You had two players colliding. Killian runs into Kahlberg. Killian runs into Kahlberg. I think it was pretty accidental, but nonetheless, that is interference, and he goes off.
Yeah, that was just as this thing was starting to open up a little bit. St. Thomas had a couple good scoring chances, and now we're going to see a guy go off to the box. So another big spot in the game.
So Jutting had a good shot, good chance there on the power play last time. Cashmark hit a shorthanded post. You know, special teams are important. Jutting's in the face-off circle. He's joined by Cashmark and Speltz. Out on top, it is Cable and Traxel. Prior Lake may be able to get one on the board here. It's 2-1, and nice play by Christie hounding him. He forced him all the way down. You don't see that very often, Mark. They had the zone. The puck popped out to neutral. 120 feet all the way back behind their own goal before they wind it back up.
Just battling to make that happen.
Good play there by Christie, and the clean-cut Christie working against some of these long hairs from Prior Lake. A little bit of a public-private clash here. Kind of a fun one to watch. Cleared the length of the ice. Played by Shop Bell. Traxel picks this one up. Prior Lake's got a pretty big team.
They do. They got some big boys. They're physical, and you know, they use their size well, and they play a smart, simple game.
Jutting right through the middle challenges the three St. Thomas players and can't quite sneak through. When you look this big in your lighter colored jerseys, this isn't their dark blue. You know, this is pretty close to their lights. You know, it's not white, but it's pretty close. You know you're a big team because everybody looks a little bit bigger when they get that black jersey on.
Oh, yeah.
Nice little spin move here by Cable, and he manages to chip it in deep, goes off. Puck's a bobbling, and this one's down deep. Jutting with a shot. Good job here by Jervis sealing the deal here. And, you know, St. Thomas has really had a good performance from Jarvis.
Wes Jarvis. Yeah, you know what?
He's been great.
He has been, and doing a nice job of controlling his rebounds and out on his angles, and it looks real confident. And, you know, he hopes to keep that up.
8:53 to go in this one. Justin, what do we got here? How long till Prior Lake scores? Are you going to get one soon? Okay. Justin's got a good feel for the game. He's our camera operator and producer, and he's got a headset on so he can hear everything we say, but he doesn't have the microphone to chime in. We're going to have to get you one for the next time, and be good to get your thoughts as well. But he has a good feel for the game because he's watching, 12 games here this week, and lots during the season. Hallam with the turnover tries to cut through. Would have been a shorthanded scoring chance, but this penalty is going to dwindle down, Mark. Just 10 seconds to go. Prior Lake really having trouble gaining the zone and keeping the zone. And credit St. Thomas with a big kill here. Big shot saved by Shop Bell. We get a stoppage. And I don't know why they blew a whistle. There wasn't a St. Thomas player within 25 feet of the goaltender.
Right.
Usually they should wait until there's someone near him. That shouldn't have been a whistle. Kimmis into the face-off circle. Joined by Kahlberg. Winter has the puck along the boards, plays this one over in our direction to Emmerich. They bring it up near side to Swanson, out to the neutral zone. Good play here from Wright. Wright's super skilled, isn't he?
Yeah, you know what? He really is, and he's really fast and really smart. He's a guy, keep an eye on him.
So I know it's a little different in the private school world. Where did he play last year? Was he a junior varsity player on your team?
He was on
Bantams?
the Sibley Bantam AA team.
Okay.
And he's from Apple Valley originally, and just a great student athlete over at St. Thomas. I know he does real well in the classroom, and teachers talk speak real highly of him.
He had one heck of a Pee Wee team. Novak is a player, very nice player for Lakeville South, and real good defenseman in the North American Prospects Hockey League, playing as midget hockey with Sioux Falls, is Coco, Matt Kokanowski. And then another player from that team has wound up playing for, I think he's possibly one of the goaltenders in the program at Holy Angels. And some of the best hockey here in the state, it is Mark Hench's, kind of a long-haired, curly, tiny Timish look. He's got a great head of hockey hair. Looks great with without the helmet.
Well, that's talent.
7:28 to go in this one. Yeah, Mark's father was color commentator for our Edina game on Thursday. Back to the action here on retreat. It is Emerson. Emerson, very impressive sophomore for Prior Lake. This pass doesn't quite connect, a little bit too far for Cashmark. Speltz chips it out to the neutral zone. Here comes Judding. Judding brings this one wide and takes a shot that's steered aside by Jarvis. Bodette, nice play here. He leaves it for McFadden. McFadden out to Herzog. Herzog over to Christie, and big shot. What a nice, Mark, 4 guys touched the puck. They used all 85 feet wide, and they gained 3 zones and got a scoring chance on the other end. That's the type of thing that's hard to do in practice with nobody opposing you. They did it with 5 yellow jerseys on the ice.
Yeah, that was textbook there, and ended up with a great scoring chance by Christie and a great save on the other end.
6:51 to go in this one. Cadets lead 2-0. Prior Lake trails 2-0, and we're going to see what happens in the exciting conclusion. It's the last half of the final period. Halftime, 31-10, Alabama, Oklahoma. So football, what? Everybody needs to be watching this one. This is the best game you've got. Nobody should be watching that football game right now. St. Thomas down in the corner, pulls it off the wall, and puck bobbles around a little bit, and Prior Lake desperately trying to clear the zone. They make it out with 6:20 to go in this one. Chip and chase by Green, and he's hounding defender Shimmick. Oh, he had ideas to get that one to Beatty, but getting into the passing lane for St. Thomas. Nice steal ripped away by O'Neill. Last pass doesn't quite connect. They tried a last little tick over to Vega, and Prior Lake does a good job defensively. Hallam tries to get this one out to Vega. Vega snaps it over in our direction. Killian from the point. Goaltender not fooled. He had a little screener there, but he saw it all the way. And another save. This one steered aside off to the wall.
And a guy who really, he's having a really strong game for St. Thomas tonight is Ryan O'Neill. He's doing a lot of little things well. He's moving pucks. He's finding the open man, and he's not on the score sheet yet, but he's doing a lot of stuff right out here.
And Mark, if Prior Lake's unable to get a goal, you know who has credit for the game winner?
Well, we'll see.
Junior O'Brien here was the first goal of the game, and 5:14 to go. You know, I wonder, Winter on retreat, I wonder at what point down 2 goals might Coach Pankratz look to maybe pull the goaltender. Down 1, maybe a minute or 2, but down 2 goals, you wonder if he might pull them out maybe a little bit early. I don't think they want to leave here with a loss on Saturday. Should be doing anything they can, I'm guessing, to see if they can find a way to get 2 goals and knock this one up.
Absolutely not. Playing hard here, too.
Soderling chips it to the blue line, not out. Kept in over on that right side by defender Emmerich. Second time's a charm, however. St. Thomas manages to get it out to the neutral zone. Here comes Winter. Nice quick pass over in our direction to Kahlberg. This one goes in deep on retreat. It is Bamer. Bamer plays this one over. Wingus up ahead. Soderling gains the zone. Chips this one up a little bit high. Glove saved by Chappell.
Well, one thing Prior Lake done a really nice job of here tonight, John, is these guys block a lot of shots. I mean, this team, I've seen several high school games, and these guys block as many shots as any team I've seen all year, and that's going to serve them well down the stretch when you get into some of these tighter games and heading into section time where the goaltender's been strong, block a lot of shots, do a lot of things well.
Prior Lake's in a murderous section. They're going to have to contend with, let's see, Holy Family, Minnetonka, Eden Prairie, and Chaska. So that's just a murderous section. What do we have for St. Thomas? Eastview. Is Egan in there?
Egan's in there.
Oh, great scoring chance by Judding. It gets to the line and kicked aside at the last moment by Jarvis.
Rosemont's in there. Burnsville.
Some of those teams are pretty good this
Oh yeah,
year.
absolutely. That's a deeper section than it's been.
Pushing a little bit down low there. Judding's sure playing hard. He's down into that blue area, and Judding's playing awfully hard, trying to get one on the board. I thought he had one there, Mark. He got to the goal line and kind of got kicked aside right at the last moment by Jervis.
Yeah, he keeps going here tonight. Guy plays with a lot of jam.
Waning moments of the hockey for life. I had high hopes when I saw the schedule, and this one has delivered, Mark. 4 great games on Thursday, 4 more on Friday, and you know what? 3-2 Stillwater loses to Moorhead. 4-3 Dinah loses to Chaska. Eden Prairie 3-1, but there was an empty netter. We've had all 1-goal games today, and this one's 2-0 late. So none of these games were really very one-sided. Really, you know, even the ones that look funny, Moorhead 6-1 losers to Eden Prairie. It was 1-1 in the third period, and then 3 goals in a minute for Eden Prairie. They pulled away. So very few games were disappointments, and you know, it's at this point the part I guess I'm concerned about, and I hadn't realized this. Not only has Prior Lake yet to score today, they didn't get a goal yesterday, so it's been 2 games without one. 3 minutes 40 seconds left. We'll see what they're able to muster late in this game. Traxel draws the minor, pulls this one up in front of the goal, and Stick pulls him down, which gives Prior Lake a much needed power play. Bodette with the touch, and they're going to be stuck in their own end. 2 minutes goes up on the board. 3:26 left, Mark. Pull the goalie?
Well, you know what? I mean, I think I probably would.
6 on 4, why not?
I mean, the way this thing is going right now, I think I probably would.
The one thing about pulling the goalie, and the reason I'm such an advocate for it, you might say, well, if St. Thomas gets out of the zone, then, you know, blah, blah, blah. St. Thomas has a lot less chance of getting out of the zone. Timeout's called. St. Thomas has a lot less chance of getting out of the zone 4 on 6. You can just smother him in there, and, you know, not that this level is high or meaningful, but just a small story. My house in college at the University of Minnesota, there's an intramural tournament. We won it several years in a row, and we were pure. We never wanted to get anybody from outside the house. We had no goalie one year. We won it again. We won by more goals every game because nobody would ever leave the zone. 6 guys that can skate could really keep the puck in. I'd like to see down 2 goals. I'd like to see them pull Chappelle. He's put in great effort today. But, geez, Mark, they can't wait. They need 2 goals. They got to get one quick.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and when you see that, guys seem to simplify their game, throw pucks to the net, go hard to the net, play with a little more effort for obvious reasons. When the goalie's out, you're down 2, it's a 6 on 4, and this may be the last chance at a push.
Youth, high school, college, pro, really doesn't matter when it is a pulled goalie situation. Positions mean a little bit less in the attacking zone. The 2 closest, 3 closest guys to the puck have to swarm it because you want to make sure you don't give them a chance to get the puck out of the zone. So I'm going to keep an eye on the Prior Lake bench here. We'll see if they pull Shop Bell, but 3:26 on the clock. 2-0 Cadets is your score. Off goes St. Thomas's Hallam. Looks like Stick got in there pulling down Traxel, and we'll see. Power play opportunity, 2 minutes on the board.
You've got Christy and McFadden out there, the 2 captains, and you've got Bodette and Shimmick, the 2 big 200-pounders on the back end.
3:26, goaltender goes back into the net. 5 on 4. Judding in the face-off circle, he wins the draw. That's key. Draws are important, and a big shot there never happens as K-Bell fans on that one. You know, you watch these guys in the NHL, and shooting one-timers is really not very easy, and that's kind of a reminder when you watch 12 high school games back-to-back-to-back. A lot of these guys tried that. A lot of guys don't really make very good contact.
Yeah, that's a...
They call a penalty?
They did on
Bodette.
Bodette.
Wowza. You know, we had a big cross-check. We had a big moment in the Edina game with 6 minutes to go, a 5-minute major called, and shortly thereafter a 2-minute minor. So Edina was 5 on 3. Really, you know, helpless to stop Chaska. They get the goal they need to win the game. This one was 3:26 to go. Cadets up 2-0. looks like they're just coasting it out. Prior Lake hasn't scored a goal in 2 games. Now all of a sudden, Mark, I'm looking at the board, 1 minute 50 seconds left in the first penalty, 2 minutes left in the second. St. Thomas could easily, 3-on-5, be unable to stop Prior Lake. Prior Lake gets 1. They're still going to have a power play, and there's still plenty of time for them to get a second goal.
Yeah, this is their spot right here.
Jutting fires this one just over the crossbar. Oh, my goodness. That was almost a goal. It came off the back wall. Jervis rolls and pulls it. He almost rolled into the goal with that puck in his effort to swallow it up.
Well, that was a real athletic play by him and very alert.
What a great save by Jervis, and he made a save off the back wall. I don't know that I've ever seen that happen before. 3:06 left to go in this one, folks, and plays over to Cable. Cable with a shot rebound, couple claps at it, and St. Thomas defenders doing a great job, but they're pursuing hard. There's just a lot of white space here for Prior Lake to move the puck around. Jutting plays Cable. Cable, Jutting, one-timer, and oh, it's into the back of the net. Speltz makes it 2-1. Just 29 seconds have elapsed, Mark. They're still on the power play. 1:31 remains, and Speltz makes this one 2-1.
Yeah, very opportunistic. Great job by him finishing down low.
I make a few notes here. Look at this. PP. Scores 2-1, 3 power play goals in this game. It's all special teams. 5-on-3 goal by Speltz, and Prior Lake has made this a whole lot more interesting. Jutting and Cashmark on the assist. So it's Speltz from Jutting and Cashmark. Mark, they're still on the power play. 2.5 minutes to go. They'll be on the power play for half of that. 1 minute, 15 seconds to go. Speltz is still out there, and he's looking for Cashmark in the slot. Plays it over on the wall to Traxel. Looking to maybe get this back on the point to Jutting, and St. Thomas with a chance to clear, but they don't. All of a sudden, this game's gotten a lot more frantic and a lot more interesting.
Yeah, they're doing a nice job down here of hanging on to it.
Jutting, quick pass over to Cable. Slow roller into the corner, and the first one to get there is Henry. Can he find a way to clear the zone? No, they can't. Beautiful athletic play there by Jutting. He keeps the zone, and that's critical at this point. Still 40 seconds left in the man advantage. And Mark, they never retrieved the goaltender. He's been in the whole time.
He has.
What do I know? Jutting circles back, head up, trying to find a path, lulling those St. Thomas attackers toward him, and makes a nice pass up ice to Tushy.
There goes the goalie.
Goalie is now out. Tushy behind the goal. Plays it out toward the top. Big shot comes in from Emerson, and this one goes high up into the netting. And 11 seconds to go in that St. Thomas penalty to Bodette. At that point, we'd have 1:15 remaining in this game. The goaltender's already been pulled out, neutral zone face-off, and chance here for Prior Lake to maybe do the unthinkable, sneak out another goal and make overtime.
Yeah, this is gonna be a nail biter right down to the end here.
Wowza. St. Thomas, you know what? They played well enough to win, and at the end, all of a sudden, they've got to earn it. Exciting game. On pursuit, this is Beatty down into the corner, and this one's thrown out, knocked down, but it does make it to the neutral zone, and pulling this one back in is Cable. Goaltender still out for Prior Lake, and now they're pinned back into their own end. Couple nice passes, they find their way out. Beatty. Now it's Jutting. Jutting gets around the defender, and oh my, what a save by Jarvis. Prior Lake is hounding, and oh, it's a weak side tip, just missed by Kimmis. Cable on the point. Oh, good finish here. Out front, oh, Kimmis is there on the weak side. Still 43 seconds left. Mark, these seconds aren't falling off fast enough for the Cadets.
Boy, look at this, huh? We said it was going to be frantic, and it has been.
Oh, empty netter doesn't happen as it goes just wide. That was a shot from Christie. That would have iced it. 30 seconds to go. Prior Lake highlighters still out on swarming that puck, and I wouldn't count them out yet, folks. Don't go anywhere. 20 seconds left. Gaining the red line. This is Cable. Cable cuts in. A nice play by Christie to break this up. Out to the neutral zone. Just 15 seconds left. It's dumped in. Everybody tags up, and Mark, 10 seconds to go. Lofted out. Oh, Just one more clear, it's going to do it. Nice smart play there by number 12 on St. Thomas, O'Neill. Strange sequence, but I think that one's going to ice it. O'Neill recognizes the puck had been played above the shoulder with a stick, so rather than touch it, he lets Prior Lake either run the clock out or touch it. They choose the touch option, face off back in their own end, 3.5 seconds left. They're going to escape with the win.
O'Neill's been heads up all night. That's, you know, a smart play by a senior.
All right, so we're going to wind it down here with the last 3 seconds. It's going to be a Cadets win. Looks like 2-1 is going to be your final score. So, Mark, you've joined me for a few of these games. Let's do a all broadcasters list here for the tournament. So, Prior Lake loses 1-2 to St. Thomas. St. Thomas's record here, I think, is 2-1, and Prior Lake winless, but they did take Lakeville North to overtime the first day. So we've got a lot of teams to choose from. Let's just maybe write some names down here. The 3-0 team was Chaska. Edina went 2-1. Eden Prairie went 2-1. St. Thomas went 2-1. And we've got some 1 and 2 teams. Lakeville North, Moorhead, and then one more team at the bottom here is Prior Lake. So just trying to jot some names down here. Help me out. We've got no doubt that Mike Kester was one of the players. And it's funny, this list is going to overlap quite a bit with the Upper Midwest High School Elite League. We had a very spirited play today from one of the goaltenders. He only played 2 of the 3 games for Chaska, but they did win all 3. Hard to pick and choose between all of those Edina players.
Yeah, Pitlick was, I didn't see the game, but I heard he was real strong today, and he seems to be really coming on. He was, John, you and I saw him, he was great in the Elite League, and he may be finding his game here big time, and that's obviously great news for Chaska.
I think it's going to be a little top-heavy with those teams that finished up with the big winning records here. So let's confer for a second. Are you kind of with me here on maybe a certain goaltender whose name I just circled? That one looked like it worked for you?
I think so.
We've certainly got one defender right there. This team went 2-1, and one of the players had a boatload of assists the first day and then a mess load of goals after that. I think this is 5 goals, 3 assists, 8 points in 3 games. So we need a forward and a defenseman. And anyone on the D-core here?
I thought Carter Henry was strong for St. Thomas this weekend, and
you know, they went 2-1, and I think you need to have some of those quiet guys that maybe don't get 10 points to balance out a team. We've already got the other D-man's kind of a big scorer, and that leaves me room for one forward. Is his name on the list, or we got to add somebody here? So let's see. There's a nice player there, and it's a good nomination. I think we're going to be aced out here. So why don't we go with 4 forwards, 2 D, and 1 goalie, and maybe you know, you can mention honorable mention here. So in goal, I'm going to go with Justin Bach. You know, he didn't get the start the first day. Jervis, player of the game in this one, by the way, for Youth Hockey Hub. But Justin Bach's a pretty good story. He's a football player in the fall. I think he was quarterback on the team that made the state tournament. Baseball player in the spring. First game he watched, second game he played pretty well as they shut out Prior Lake. And today, a big reason that Chaska was able to really get things under control. Edina was ahead 3-0. Chaska comes back to beat him. Bach's a big part of it. Hat trick the first night. One of our blue liners is Kester. Kester, an NHL-ready player, got tons of scouts here, just like Elite League. They're all showing up here too, Mark. Kester, anything you want to say about him from either this weekend or the familiarity you have from the Upper Midwest High School Elite League?
Yeah, he's really starting to heat up. He's a real skilled guy, real smart, real dynamic, great on the power play. Again, a guy to watch, and he's one that could take those guys a long way.
Yeah, so a lot of predictable names going the rest of the way, but one that's a nice nomination from you, and I think it does make sense. There's a lot of guys we could put in there. You know, you're looking for a D to balance out a team maybe, and you know, Kester has a ton of points, but, you know, maybe his partner should be somebody that stays at home a little bit. And you're right, Carter Henry, he was very, very good this week for St. Thomas. So we'll go with that. Up at front, you've got an honorable mention that you want to point out here. He was good, and in an 8-team tournament where a lot of guys are getting close to 10 points, maybe it's a tough crowd trying to get there. So who's our honorable?
So McFadden, I think he had the winner today, if I'm not mistaken. He had one last night.
Yep.
And he may have had one on day one. I would have to go back and look at the score sheet, but I thought he was real strong, did a lot of little things well, and did get a couple big goals.
So I've got Jack Jensen, 5 goals, 3 assists, and 8 points in 3 games. So I'm going to put Jack Jensen. Jungles had a bunch of assists the first day, 4 goals the second day, 2 goals, I think, today. So Jungles is like a lot of goals. And, you know, you could pick anyone off that line. Jungles, Nevers, Malmquist. I'll go with Jet. And another forward out there, you know what, I pointed him out and said, you know, I haven't seen him for a little while. He had a goal, but it was quiet for a while. And then third period when they locked it down, really, Rhett Pitlick was just outstanding. So forwards maybe Pitlick, Jungles, Jensen, honorable mention of McFadden, defenseman Kester, Henry, and a lot of other guys we could put in there. You know, we've left off Warner. He had a hat trick, I think, in game 2, and one of the big reasons Chaska went 3-0. And you know what? These teams that went 1-2 or 0-3, they don't get players mentioned, but saw a lot of nice players we liked on Prior Lake. And you know, when you get to the Moorhead team, certainly Grammer would, you know, fit well where we put Henry. Just, you know, do it all guy as far as getting that puck up ice, making those passes. Lakeville North. You know, a bunch of guys to choose from, and obviously before he got hurt, Griffin was a big part of the weekend. Schneider, and you know, that's a good team there. And I really like Isley from Stillwater, so there's some other names maybe in that honorable mention pool. Anybody else you want to mention?
Yeah, I mean, I thought you mentioned Shane Griffin. I think he was hurt earlier in the year, and he's back now, and he seems to be finding his stride. He's a big, strong kid that's got a lot of talent and can put the puck in the net.
Well, Mark, we're the only ones in the building. It's me, you, and Justin. Sad to see this end. We had 12 great hockey games. You were a part of 3 of them with me. I appreciate all your help, and thank you for joining me. So with that, final thoughts here from Hockey for Life. Youth Hockey Hub, thank you. Tradition, thank you. Prior Lake, Dakota, all you folks, thank you. And to people that helped put this together, which I think are people like Pankratz and Eigner with Tony Zozel, big thanks all the way around. It's just smashing success. No place I'd rather be.
No, this was a lot of fun, and this is these holiday tournaments are always exciting and brings people together, and you see college and pro scouts out here watching, and it just makes it exciting for the players and everybody involved.
Yeah. Brett Chorsky, another one, you know, he had this heroics the first night, another great player that gets left off, and I can't wait to see what happens to these kids as they continue their hockey journeys. That's the fun part, following it, and we had the easy job, just get to stand up here and talk about hockey. Big thanks to Greg Tinty and Tinty Productions, and big thanks to Justin. You're a rock star. See you, everybody.